Welcome to the Quarantine Podcast. I'm Keith, and this is
Erica.
And today I am very pissed off at Trump. So, Erica, I know you have some stuff to say. So I'm gonna let you start it off, but I'm gonna get to that in a second.
I have a question for you, Keith. What do you call 50 lesbians and 50 politicians that are in the same room?
I don't know what.
100 people that don't do dick.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'm just here.
God damn.
Please stay far away from me. Go on and save yourself. Say no farewell.
I feel like if I would have gave myself a little more time, I could have got that one, but that's good. I like it.
You gave up, but it's okay. It works.
I gave up for our beautiful audience out there because I appreciate their time, and I can be as slow as Biden at some days, but
I think we all can. I think we all have that ability, but I don't know that all of us choose that every day, all day.
Yeah, and I don't know if all of us shit ourselves at the G7. But yeah.
I mean, I shit myself in the Atlanta airport, but that's another story for another day.
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
But I don't know where you're talking. I don't know how we got on the subject of Joe Biden's booty. But so what do you want to talk about? Because I think I'm going to end this stuff with the Trump shit, just because I'm going to go Trump derangement syndrome. And I'd rather save that for the ending.
Well, the thing that's kind of been hitting for me, especially in coaching sessions even, I've had some people bringing it up to me because it's been hitting their sphere. And they're like, they've just been struggling, with identity around food and things of that nature, and like trying to change their habits and diets. But like a lot of people have been feeling the urge to like stop eating meat. But then they like have this horrible, just listen, I'll tell you what's been coming at me in coaching sessions. But then they've been having this like, but I don't want to be seen as a vegan. And I'm like, well, first off, if you're choosing not to eat meat, who cares what you're seen as? It like a label is a label. Humans created labels, right? Like the person who created psychology sat around, observed a whole bunch of people, and then created this thing called psychology. The person who invented college, he didn't go to college. Like he just invented the fucking structure. So, I'm like, you are whatever you say you are. And I'm like, so where do you think this nudging's coming from? And they're like, I don't know. I feel this disgust with meat. Well, then a couple of days ago, a good friend of mine who we send things back and forth, he said, oh shit, it's finally happening. And a news report that came out about some of the top scientists, and I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
we have actually leaked and discovered that a lot of the meat supply has human traces in it. And then a couple days later, someone sends me a video of a car that was driving behind a truck that this shit is spewing out of it all over the road. And like, as the person's filming and driving, they're narrating. So they're telling you, oh my God, this smells like crap. Like it smells like burning flesh. It smells like this. Well, they were like so fucking precise, like with their video, that they ended up catching this business emblem on this truck. And wouldn't you know it, the company that owns the truck owns a fucking crematorium as well. And wouldn't you know it, they happen to be in a state that consuming humans isn't illegal.
Ain't that illegal in all states?
No, it's not illegal in all states. Some places
Great.
It's actually legal, cannibalism is in the U.S.
Yeah, shit's crazy out there, obviously, and
Yeah.
I remember reading, I don't know if it was WEF or it was just some crazy crackpot Bill Gates type of person, but they were talking about the vaccine. They would give people the vaccine and it would make them sick from eating meat. So it would actually make them so they don't want to eat meat no more. And
I've heard that before too.
Yeah, and that was kind of crazy to think about because obviously 10 years ago you would have been like, oh, you're a crazy person, but the shit that they're doing nowadays, you know, I feel like they're just poisoning us.
Well, you know, somebody said something very interesting. When was the last time you saw a cemetery go up, a new cemetery?
I see that, yeah.
But people are dying every day, right? And then we keep talking about how cancer is accelerating. Well, you know, when we're giving ourselves these injections that can change your entire cellular structure, you know, that can break the blood-brain barrier, then, I mean, you really think that they're above not putting shit in your food that's from another fucking human being's body? And this is what bothers me with the whole thing. I'm a very picky person, right? So if I am picky about my fresh raw veggies, wouldn't you think I'm gonna be picky about the human I'm gonna eat? Like, did you give me a human that eats like I eat? Or did you give me a human full of shit and diabetes and everything else? Like, I mean, if we're gonna be cannibals, I want grade A fucking meat. And you're not gonna, and that's not who you putting in the food, because that's not who's dying. Who's dying are the people sitting on your fucking Medicaid, Medicare, your people who operate at a 12-year-old mental capacity, so they come up fucking missing every goddamn day. That's who's in the food. I don't want to eat that. Fuck, I'm not a cannibal anyway, so I don't want to fucking eat it anywho. But, you know, like, we wonder why people walking around here sick. Well, let's look at the McDonald's. How many fucking times you go to McDonald's this week? That you done had 24 humans, and I bet you 24 different humans. A couple of them probably had cancer, 2 of them probably had diabetes, and one's probably an anxious, depressed motherfucker. That's why you feel the way you feel. But yeah.
What's the most edible race?
You know, I don't know that we've ever had that in any conversation or scientific study, so I don't really know how to answer that. Keith?
I don't either.
I just wonder if it works the same with humans as it does with, like, wild game. You know how, like, they always tell you want to shoot a deer and you don't want to have to track it. Why? Because you're going to get that gaminess, all that adrenaline in its system and stuff is going to go through its body. You know, so I wonder if it's the same with humans. Do you taste gamey if they have to, like, chase your ass down to finish you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, but cannibalism is interesting and shit because I didn't really believe in it. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's, like, tribes and shit that nobody ever, like, sees or anything like that, but I mean, the more I go down the rabbit hole, especially over the last 5 years, I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers are really, really twisted, and they do a lot of stuff. And I'm even looking at now with, like, organ harvesting and all that shit. I'm like, it would be so easy for them to do because lately I've been kind of blackpilled on the point that we're all in a chicken coop, and any one of the chickens who gets out of line, they get culled. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, well, this explains replacement theory. Well, I'm not even gonna call it replacement theory anymore. It's so replacement and just the way everything works. Like, women aren't we're not having children as much anymore. Like, I look at my father, he was of 9 brothers, and I'm looking at me now, and it's like me and my brother had 1 kid, and a lot of my cousins don't have kids. And overall, you're seeing the replacement of people who want to have a bunch of kids, and they're giving them people government assistance to keep having those kids. And yet people like me, I can't afford to have a kid, and I would honestly like to have a kid, but I'm at that age where I can't afford it, plus I'm getting too old, and that's really depressing. But it was everybody's fault for not doing that, because I mean, this generation is going to be way less than half of the generation before it, and that's kind of shitty to kind of see Americans go down the tube like that just to be replaced and forgot about. But, you know, 249 years, What do you expect? They don't give a fuck. And
Well, I mean, everything comes to an end at some point. Look at Rome. So, to think that anything's going to last forever is asinine anyways, and you're setting yourself up for extra heartache and disappointment. But, I heard a girl say it really plain the other day. She was like, someone said, why aren't smart people having children? More smart people need to have kids. Smart people ain't having kids because we're trying to end the world. We see through the bullshit and the illusions. We are not buying into the rigged fucking game. Like, everybody who's got a kid, I can honestly sit here and say, I would never say their names because, well, they said it to me in confidence. But I'm talking friends that I've had for centuries have said in their children's presence, so their children know I ain't even telling a lie. If I could go back and do it all over again, I'd be Erica. I knew not what I was doing. Like, I don't know why I thought I needed to do what my parents thought everybody else needed to do. Populate this world. Like, that was the biggest fucking lie of all. The game is rigged. You literally are a slave your entire life, the way society is set up, if you're trying to have a kid, because they ain't making nobody independent. They making everybody very dependent, codependent, and clingy. And us smart people ain't trying to deal with this. So no, we are not having children at all costs. Like, let this shit be done. Fuck it. Let it burn.
yeah, I mean, I feel you to an extent. Like, yeah, it's like this fuck show's it's over, but at the same time, I still think that there's always something left to fight for, and it's just funny just how everything kind of led to this, whether it be like, and I know we don't go into the whole battle of the sexes thing, because it's not worth it, because you can't really define people by their gender as a whole. But a lot of, if you can say like a big portion of it, of women who didn't want to have kids, dudes who wanted to have kids but were fucking around, and then you look at like Planned Parenthood and all that stuff. It's like they wanted you not to have child, not to reproduce, so they can bring people in, and then the people they bring in, they're gonna lay out the red carpet for, which we're doing with taxpayer dollars. And then those people are getting discouraged, like myself, who are like, I can't afford to have a kid, yet this chick's on fucking TikTok dancing around because she got $3,000 in EBT food cards. And that really bugged me, because I make about $3,200 a month off of working 160 hours. And you're telling me that my tax dollars go to pay for a motherfucker who don't work and gets $3,000 just in food, including medical, including a fucking phone, including a place to live, and money to spend. And I'm just like, dude, it's disgusting. How the fuck are people gonna like reproduce as Americans and get fucked like that all the time, 24/7? And that's why I'm kind of blackpilled, because it's like I tried really fucking hard and it literally got me nowhere. Fucking the last 4 fucking years before my pops died, it was a fuck show. And I'm just so fed up with the bullshit, and it really sucks, because I like to stay positive and shit, and I will, but I'm like, dude, this is really fucked up, the games that they're playing, and especially the shit with Trump today. I was just like, dude, I'm not in a good mood for this shit, and I was just like, blackpilled. Sorry for the rant, but it's
well,
like,
that was a good rant, because I there was a lot that you said in there. I get, but it comes back to the fact that you really think enough Americans pay taxes to keep giving all these people $3K? No. So then once we detach from the fact that money ain't real, they just print shit. Then we can get after our feelings too on thinking that somebody's getting something and you paid for it, because you didn't. There's not enough taxpayer to pay for this shit. It's a printing game. I know where one of the prints are. I had to deliver something there just the other day. So, like, it's not real. So, but it's something else to keep you in your feelings and to keep you feeling like you're being replaced, this, that, and the third. Because at the end of the day, they can try to move all the people in that they want. Humans die. flowers die, buildings decay. So unless these humans are reproducing, that they're moving in, I hope you ain't bringing no humans over here like me. That's like, fuck you, let the world burn. Because like your whole theory falls apart then. So at the end of the day, it's a game to keep you in your feelings, all of it. And the energy that keeps the game going is one's attention.
Well,
as long as
and
you
that's
tuned
why.
in, don't keep playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the Epstein list. All of a sudden, there is no Epstein list.
We're not getting into that yet. We're saving that for
All
the
of
end
a
when I
sudden,
freak
there's
out.
no Epstein list.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
oh,
because the glitch is fucked up.
Yeah, we're gonna get into
So what
that.
was sitting on your desk? A McDonald's receipt? What was sitting on old girl's desk for how long? Keeping the news cycle spun the fuck up.
Pam Bundy, what happened? Why are we talking about Epstein? We should be talking about Epstein. There's good things going on and there's bad things, but one thing we won't talk about is Epstein. I won't do it, can't do it. Ooh, so bad.
Yeah, fuck. I don't want to get into that yet. But
Okay,
yeah,
fine,
every child that's born now is born into, they already owe $160,000. And I know it's a Ponzi scheme, but if everybody believes in the Ponzi scheme, then it's considered currency and it's relevant. And I understand that we put out our dollars, we give Ukraine and all these other countries monies as pretty much coupons, because if you use the coupon, then you're gonna buy more shit, right? So when we send out those coupons, the American people, they don't get coupons. They got to pay full price every fucking time. So why the fuck are we giving away coupons to all these other fucking countries? Why are we putting up with fucking people just rolling in here and just taking the fuck over when an 18-year-old gets out of high school and they can't get they can't even dream of getting a house, probably not even an apartment. Like, it's insane. And yet you're saying like, hey, motherfuckers, come over here. We're going to give you a new house. We're going to set you up phone and you won't have to do shit for 2 to 3 years. And after 2 to 3 years, hit up the government and they'll probably give you some more fucking money. So yeah, fuck them. It's fucked.
Well, I mean, 80% of humans operate at a 12-year-old capacity, whether they want to admit it or not, which is also why you have a lot of humans running around offended, because they ain't really offended. What happened was they got exposed. There's a difference. Either way, offense and exposure feels the same. Why? Because you don't want nobody to know you fucking stupid, right? But now you exposed. Oh, it feels some kind of way. Only word I know is offended. So, I mean, why is the world sending the shit that it's in? There's only 20% of us that have a goddamn brain that we're actually fucking using. That's why. Look at Philly right now. Philly's sitting here. You got motherfuckers. There's a goddamn district union strike that's affecting something major, sanitation. You got dumb fucks that are paying money to hail a motherfucking Uber and a Lyft to take them and their trash to these makeshift drop sites and then taking the fucking Uber back. Bitch, you could have rented 3 goddamn U-Hauls, took your whole motherfucking block shit and dumped it at fucking City Hall. But it wasn't a planned protest with cameras and the cops on your side. So you could go protest and actually have an impact. It wasn't a photo op. Get the fuck out my face. Shut the fuck up about the trash. I don't give a fuck. Sit in it. You created it. I don't want to hear your complaints.
Dude, if I was in Philly there with you right now, I would buy the biggest U-Haul I could find. I would go fucking door to door, get all their fucking trash, and go dump that shit off my goddamn self.
Right?
It's so ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I could, but I'm not going to. You know why? It's not my problem.
You're done with it.
No, it's not my problem. You know why it's not my problem? Because I don't entertain the Matrix. I live alongside that Matrix. It's not my problem. But here's the bigger reason why it's not my problem. I live in a building where trash isn't my responsibility. It's the building's responsibility. So on no day am I about to have to take trash nowhere. Why? Because that's part of my living fucking arrangement. Now, if I owned a home or I lived in a building where the trash was my responsibility anyways, further than taking it to the curb, my shit would already been to City Hall. I'd have rented a fucking, you see, it's not my problem. Y'all figure it out for your fucking self, because it is y'all's problem.
Dude, that That woman is so disgusting. She's
a fuck. Did you see that one speech she did where she was like yelling in the mic, and the whole speech was about her? Basically, it was one big narcissistic speech. It was like, I got where no one thought I would get. I know you, District 33, because some of you were family, some of you are this. You need to get your asses back to work. I will not be rushed to make a fiscal decision. Oh, really? Because you didn't fucking bat an eye when you gave yourself a 9% increase raise yourself and then hired unnecessary staff and gave them a raise. But now you need to take some time to think about paying these people. Get the fuck on, Sherelle Parker. You the biggest fucking Uncle Tom there is. And I don't mean it because you're black doing a jig. I mean it because you said one thing and you did another. That's a fucking Uncle Tom. You're dancing for the fucking puppet and the man. We got Mexican Uncle Toms, white Uncle Toms, black Uncle Toms, yellow Uncle Toms. She just happens to be one of the midnight, almost dark Uncle Toms.
Yeah, every time I hear about the Philly trash thing, I always think of Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they're like the trash collectors in the limousine. I can't help but get that out of my head. I just picture your trash is getting picked up by fucking Dennis. Like, where's the trash at? You know, and Frank's probably got a sausage in his pocket or something. But yeah, I haven't seen that show in forever, but I always think of that whenever it's the Philly trash.
Did somebody say it's coming back?
Always Sunny?
I think, I don't know. I feel like somebody said
I don't think it ever stopped.
I don't know that it stopped. Look, I don't know if it ever stopped or not. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it didn't stop because they're way. I haven't seen them since season 13, and I haven't watched them in years, but I know there's a shit ton of seasons I ain't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
So. There's
so many episodes I haven't seen. The episode that will forever live rent free for me was when they decided to get on crack so they could get EBT.
Yeah. Come on, Dee. Look at Dee. She's a retard. My favorite one was when Dennis was dating the chick with the dead tooth. And he's all like, she's like, I love you. And he's like, Urgh. And she's like, bye. And he's like, I was dying. Fuck, that dude would be an awesome serial killer for a movie. Like, straight up. He's a nut.
Yeah.
But
that whole cast is.
yeah, they're all amazing and shit. Like, I actually like Dee a lot. I think she's super hot, not because she's good looking, but she's funny as fuck. And I'm like, God damn. And fucking Frank reminds me of my pop so much. And it's hilarious because even my girlfriend was all like, Frank really reminds me of your dad. And I'm like, yeah, he does. And I'm kind of nervous to watch it again because I haven't watched it since then. But he does. Just there's something about him. I'm just like, I don't know. But yeah, Danny DeVito's dope. He's been killing it for so many years.
Yeah, my favorite movie that he ever did back in the day was with Arnold, Twins.
Oh, yo, that's a good one. I haven't seen that in like 20-something years.
Bro, it has been a minute. Like, that movie and Forrest Gump, like, those used to be the movies that, like, they were sick day movies. You know what I mean? Because you could turn on, and if you fell asleep while who cares? You've seen it so many times. But, like, I haven't seen either of those movies in so fucking long. But Twins, that was a whole vibe.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Big Trouble in Little China?
Yes, but God, it's been so long.
Yeah, that was one of those like sick days, or I usually call them Sunday movies.
Yeah.
Kind of like a good feel-good Sunday movie. I had my list on lock when I was sick at school and whatnot. Like when I was sick, there's like a set of movies that I would watch and shit. I kicked that shit off with Monster Squad, and that shit was dope. But no, I watched Big Trouble in Little China not too long ago, and it's still held up. Kurt Russell's dope, but Yeah, I've been watching some straight 80s films lately, and it's been amazing. Let me tell you.
I've been going back and rewatching some stuff on purpose to see if it has been changed or not. And you would not believe how many fucking glitches I have found, especially that the Mandela effect. Yeah, the Mandela effect. I have found so many in old 90 TV shows where they'll reference something that they've now in today's culture try to tell you, oh, there's no way that happened. Like, you're misremembering. And like, they blatantly got it spelled a certain way or said a certain way. And I'm like, and I've been like recording it. I'm going to do some reels here later in the month. Just dropping them throughout the week randomly, like, oh, look what I found. Oh, look what I found. Like, did I just hear him say that? Now, why would he say that?
Dude, I've been saving all my shit from 2020. Like, all my media, like, it's all saved. The memes, everything's saved. Because I'm like, they're going to try to pull some fuck shit when they start writing these history books. And they'll be like, oh, BLM was a far right thing. And then BLM and Trump stormed the Capitol on January 6th. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not playing that shit because we're too advanced. Oh, exactly. I do know, but we are too advanced, and we're not going to fall for that shit this time. Because if I'm not going to fucking live the great life that I work to achieve that I don't get, then I'm going to hold some motherfuckers accountable because I'm petty. All the way down to my last breath, I'm going to do some petty shit, and I'm just going to be like, fuck y'all. I'm going to put all that shit up on fucking every platform you can think of. I'm going to get fucking 10,000 thumb drives and start throwing it at liberals. Straight up. But going back to what you were saying, it's not too much about the Mandela effect, but the way that they're taking shit out of movies and fucking around and doing all that nonsense. I got this text today, and it was they put a warning in front of Rush Hour because of Gen Z, but this is what it says. It says TV-14 DLV. We all love our 90s buddy comedies, but this movie was created in a different time. FYI, certain depictions, language, and humor may seem outdated and at times offensive.
What?
Rush Hour. Fucking Rush Hour. Yes. So, this is the type of shit.
That's like, so, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, right? So, I grabbed this small copy because I wanted to see what's not in it, right? Mm-hmm. And they blatantly tell you at the beginning that they took out an entire section. There's like a whole section of plates that's just not in this book. And it's like, well, then you technically can't sell it as the Book of the Egyptian Dead. Like, that's not it. But here you are selling it like it's the full fucking package, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole reason I picked it up was because I said, I'm going to go through this because I want to know what's missing. Like, I was with my girl Darcel, and she's like, you're getting that? I was like, fuck yeah, because I want to know what's missing. I was like, I am willing to spend $5.99 because I want to know what the fuck they took out. And she started laughing. I said, because I have the original Egyptian Book of the Dead, so I want to know what the fuck's not in here. And she was like, oh God, you about to get, I said, fucking stoned to the bone and have 2 books just, I was like, doing what I used to do, get paid to do in college. And she was like, what'd you get paid to do in college? I was like, when people didn't want to buy new textbooks, they would pay me to go get the book because you had like 15 days to take it back and get a full refund. So they pay me to go get the book, go through the entire book and see what was changed. And usually what we would find was nothing was changed. What they did was they made chapter 11, chapter 7. Or they made this, they took the front of chapter 7 and made it the end of chapter 7, right? So nothing actually changed about the book. But they changed the edition number, which meant they could now charge you and tell you that for this class this year, you need this brand new book. Bro, I made all kinds of money going through books in college, so people didn't have to actually go buy the book. I'd be like, bro, just use your brother's book from 7 years ago. Same book. Like, chapter 7 is this, chapter 9 is this. Like, so yeah, like I'm a pro at sitting down and taking some time and looking through some shit. So it was very interesting to begin going through it. And before I even had to break the other one out, they blatantly told me, oh, by the way, we took this whole fucking section out.
Yeah, that's silly as fuck. I was going through my pops' place, and guess what the fuck I found?
What'd you find?
Number one, I found a Bible, which I'm gonna actually try to read the Bible because my girlfriend wants me to, and I want to have a good argument whenever I debate Charlie Kirk. Shout out Charlie Kirk though, he's okay. But I found an old ass. Well, runner up, I found an old ass psychology book from like a long ass time ago. But better than that, my main prized possession for the books that my father owned. I mean, yeah, it was an old school dictionary. Like, I'm talking old AF. Like, this thing is.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm excited for that because, you know, old dictionaries, like, they take a lot of shit out. They change words. And I'm like.
Words have been added since then. Oh my God. Have you started going through it?
I haven't yet, but I remember someone made the point that it's much easier to change words than it is to change laws. So if you can have laws out there, just let's change the words on them. Like, what is an illegal? It'll say illegal immigrant. What is an illegal immigrant? It's like, well, nobody is technically illegal in the new dictionary, the woke dictionary of 2030. And they'll be like, oh, so yeah, anybody can come over. This law is basically bullshit. You know, and it's that simple. And they got that shit, but it's like, motherfucker, I'm on to y'all motherfuckers.
This is what I tell people. You can't go in court and argue and effectively argue your own case unless you have studied black law. And black law has nothing to do with actual race. Black law is what we like to call underground. You're gonna get the real meaning of them fucking words. Like, hello.
Yeah. Exactly. And
that's just like, people don't realize their actual utility bill is a check. Look at how the statement is wrote out that you have to tear off and send back. That is a check in every sense of the word, the way it is set the fuck up. But because you don't know what those words mean, like you think they mean what they mean in the dictionary, what they taught you in school, you've never black law studied. Well, okay, you pay your bill every fucking month.
Yep. Yeah, I don't honestly know shit about it. But I would like something I would like to look into. Because that's like, I feel like that's a flex when you know some crazy shit that nobody else knows. And then they're like, you're full of shit, but then you prove it to them. I mean, anyone other than a liberal, because I don't think you can prove shit to a liberal. They still think the fucking moon landing was real. But yeah, you know, like that old school dictionary, I'm like, that shit, that is huge, you know, because dude, the new dictionaries are trash. It might as well be woke.
Yeah.
But
like, they are so polluted and missing things that it's not even funny.
Yo. And yeah, I suppose we should probably get into the Trump stuff.
So what Trump did piss you off today?
So I was watching, well, the whole thing, like Dan Bongino, a lot of my audience know that I'm a big fan of his, looked up to that dude, and Jermaine Bozzio in 2020. Those were people that I kind of lost my shit in 2020 when I went without a job for the longest period since I was 14. And I listened to a lot of podcasts. I even listened to little Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro was talking a bunch of crazy stuff, but he wouldn't talk about the vaccines, and Trump's still a bad man. I listened to all that shit, but I listened to a few of those people like Jermaine Bozzio, Dan Bongino, and I was all like, I know they're on that real shit. And Dan Bongino, when he was like, listen, Epstein didn't kill himself. And like I was like, okay, that's probably bullshit, but whatever. I'll take it with a grain of salt. And then later on, now they're saying there's no client list. There's nobody involved with this shit. And I'm sitting to myself thinking like, so your fucking Lolita Express, there was nobody flying that fucking plane. You were flying the plane and shit. Bill Clinton was on there, but who was flying the plane? Was Bill Clinton really wasn't on there? Where's all the shit? And then today, a reporter, Peter Ducey, maybe it was Peter Ducey, maybe it was someone else. No, Peter Ducey asked the speaker, the chick, but no, somebody asked Trump, they're like, what about the Epstein stuff? And Trump was like, we're doing so many good things, and there's horrible things and good things happening. What's with Epstein? Why does everybody care about Epstein? It's all like, because this shit's been going on for 10 years and nobody's held accountable. You're talking about fucking 1,000 kids that are getting raped and worse, and I'm sitting here like, you're gonna come after me if I don't pay $600 for a fucking PayPal account, you know? And it's like, why the fuck am I doing that? If the elites can't be held accountable, then why the fuck am I held accountable? It's like, I play your fucking Ponzi scheme, but at the end of it, what do I get? Nothing, while everybody else gets to do whatever the fuck they want, and I'm just so sick of it. And that just blackpilled the fuck out of me, and I heard that right before I got off of work, and I was just like, dude, Trump sounds like a fucking rhino right now, and I still support Trump, honestly, because what the fuck else do we got? But at the same time, I'm just like, dude, that was some rhino shit, and under the circumstances that maybe he does have a plan for the shit, I'm disappointed in Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, and I was just super hyped that we were finally gonna get some people who really gave a fuck, but really don't. And at the end of the day, I had my hopes up. I mean, I feel like I personally fought for this shit. Instead of doing music, I switched into getting into politics and, you know, speaking truth and promoting freedom and fighting against censorship. But at the end of the day, they really don't give a fuck. And that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a hard black pill to swallow. And I kind of did today. And I was like, dude, I'm so disappointed in Dan Bongino, because fuck, I listen to that motherfucker every day, and he's just like, nothing. There was no clients. No one was involved. And I'm like, so someone got 20 years in prison, and that's it. Everybody else is free. You know, it's...
Yeah, pretty much.
Up.
I mean, because this is what they do. They recycle events and keep you spun up, and your energy is the currency to keep it going. So yeah, that disappointment you feel, that disappointment is a collective disappointment. Many people are feeling that way because they just knew this is it. And they need your disappointment. They need your rage. They need your happiness. They need all of that for it to all continue. So, you know, this is just a great reminder. When did you see this happen before? When did you see something like this? And just know you'll see it again if you choose to keep entertaining it. Like, there ain't nobody that can fix the system by entering it. Plain and simple. You know why? It's too big. The idea of it is too big, and people have conceptualized it to the point that it now kind of does feel like a walking, talking being of its own, even though it's not. So because the conception of it is so big and widely believed in, disconnecting fully is the only thing that's going to fix it. But thinking that anybody, any man, woman, is about to be a salvation and a turning point because they entered the system, I hold my laughter till I'm home by myself. Let me put it that way, because I'm not here to make people feel bad. Everybody's got to learn in their own timing, but it's just like, God damn. How many more centuries y'all gonna let them fucking play you? Like, right all up in your face.
Yo, it's good and evil. and you can be the best person, do all the good you can, but evil don't have to play by those rules, and that's why good loses. 'Cause it's a lot easier to be evil.
Yep, good loses because they think they have to play by this certain set of rules and they're scared. Like people, when I said that shit about take your trash to City Hall, somebody literally commented, "Oh, I hope you rich and got money for fines." And this is my comeback. Well, I hope y'all have fun sitting on hold because 911's also they fucked up because of this. So like, I'm not too worried about fines. And see, if all y'all would get together and do the same thing, you wouldn't have to worry about fines either. But here's the beautiful thing. Even if there wasn't this going on, I don't give a fuck about fines. Like, y'all don't scare me. Like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Fine me, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah.
You know?
Straight up.
Like, that shit only works if somebody believes and fears in it. As soon as you quit believing and fearing in it, there's a lot of shit that starts coming to you. And you ain't even got to be evil to get it.
Yeah. And I mean, for that shit, I mean, they created this problem. They overspent. They're bad with their budgeting. Obviously, incompetence at every level. Why is it every liberal city is just, they can't get their shit together? Like anyone else, if you have a regular job, would be fired like a million times already. Fucking Governor Walz. Governor Walz is still here. That dude is trash. Dude, fuck. And that's just the thing. I'm just gonna
listen. Weathermen and politicians, the two most secure jobs in the United States of America.
Insane. Straight up.
And the weathermen we don't even need now that people have apps. Just open the app.
I mean, the weather people get it right once in a while, so it's good to have them see on CNN because at least sometimes they get it right? But yeah, it's a fuck show. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of Walz. And yeah, honestly, I'm blackpilled today. I'll be better next time because I was just like I said, I heard this right before I got off work and shit, and then shortly after joined you in this, but I was just like, it just really hurt. I feel like it feel like obviously someone like Dan Bongino is, I don't know Dan Bongino and he's made millions of dollars and shit, but he spoke real as fuck and he told a lot of stories and shit that aren't easy to tell, and I respected the fuck out of him. And yeah, this was just like more than a slap in the face, I feel like, and I'm just I don't get all like that over celebrities. I really don't care. But at this point I was just like, dude, I've been fighting for so long. I'm just like, what does it really matter? You know, because yeah. Anyway, so getting off that subject because I don't want to depress people. Don't do anything crazy. So what else is popping in the news that you thought is worthy of talking about?
Did you see what happened in Nevada when all those power lines went down, like just snapped in half?
No.
Oh shit, bro. Pull the video up. I sent it to you. I know I sent it to you. And if I didn't, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Do you want to send it to Keith Bridges' Facebook?
I was gonna say, which one you want me to send it to?
Keith Bridges' Facebook is open right now.
These are the times. I feel like I sent it. I know I sent it to you, but I know I can find it faster in this other thread. Here we go. You said send it to Keith Bridges?
Yeah.
All right, it's on its way from my These Are the Times Instagram.
Okay.
So this video happened, was it July 4th or July 5th? I believe. Hold on. Let's see when did he send me that? no, 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 no. I got that on July 2nd.
All right. Should I play it up real quick?
Say what?
Should I play it up real quick?
Yeah.
All
Cue
right,
it up.
go.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Make sure the sound's on.
Las Vegas. We are on Tropicana in front of the Walmart. Every last one of the light poles, the electricity poles are down. This goes for miles. We ain't got no power. I don't know what the hell is going on. This goes for miles, y'all. Look at the cords on the ground. It goes all the way down, miles.
Do you see these things are snapped?
What
Even the metal.
hell? What the hell? All of these are down, y'all. Every last one of the powers down. Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's wild.
So they're saying it's strong winds knocked down over 60 power lines across Las Vegas Valley. Then something else, CNN comes out and says power poles collapse onto cars during a dust storm. Then, on YouTube, power pole falls on top of car during storm in Las Vegas Valley, caught on video. Here, hold on. You want me to send you the video?
Yeah.
All right, hold on, it's coming.
We begin with a live look outside from our downtown
No,
center.
I don't want you to talk to me. I want to send it. This.
Skip the rental counter with your rent just about any car, just about anywhere.
Instagram. Key. It's coming to your Instagram.
All right, I'm gonna play it up real
We
quick.
begin with a live look.
I'm gonna send you this one too. All right, you got two.
Downtown Summerlin camera, still some cloudy skies, but a much calmer sight than yesterday. Cleanup efforts are underway right now after a massive windstorm created chaos across the valley. 70-mile-per-hour winds caused this mess, downed trees and dozens of power lines on top of cars and on the roads. We have team coverage for you this afternoon. Our Heather Melendez is tracking the latest round of showers across the valley. But first, let's head to Fox 5's Molly McBride near Tropicana in Jones, where yesterday's powerful storms caused some damage in the area. Molly?
Well, Alexis, look at these cars behind me. We counted about 6 total, all stuck under power poles along Jones Boulevard. I'm standing just north of the Tropicana Jones intersection. One of these cars is actually still running, hazards on, as it has been all morning. You can imagine how scary this was for the people inside. I actually spoke with the driver of this black car who showed me this video of the terrifying moment his car was hit. Poles falling like dominoes. Not even enough time for this driver to react before his car is smashed underneath. Now, he is okay. He didn't want to go on camera, but we caught up with him earlier. This was the scene near Tropicana and Eastern. Those powerful winds we saw yesterday knocked down dozens of power.
I did get a chance to walk down the street. Let's give you a look here at the impact first. I want to zoom in here to the left to show you what kind of impact this must have been at about 5 o'clock yesterday when neighbors living around here say these power poles fell. You see the...
I don't know, bro. My head, I've been trying to wrap my head around this since July 2nd when it came to my email. I don't know. Then one of my spiritual girlies was doing a breakdown on it, and I just had so much going on. and I was in rest state, that I was like, bookmark, and I emailed it to myself. That way it's outside of Instagram and I can just go consume it, you know, and sit with it for a minute. But yeah, it's like I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. What do you think about it on first glance and here?
Well, CNN said, like, CNN showed the video and it looks like the cords just went down one by one. There probably should have been more slack in the cords. I think might have helped, because if they're that tight, it would be easier for it to bring that down and snap. But
It's 70 mile an hour wind.
Yeah, whenever CNN says something, though, I tend not to believe it, so I'm wondering what really happened.
Well, but let's go back to the video old girl took. After it was all said and done, they're just laying in the fucking ground. That video, it just looked too surgical. Does that make sense?
I mean, it looked weird, because, you know, you kind of see that shit for like a tornado, like it looks like a tornado got a hold of some shit. But
because the metal, like you got metal, just it wasn't just the wooden poles. Like the metal poles are completely snapped the fuck over.
But maybe they got fucking cheap ass poles and stuff. Maybe, you know, maybe they cut corners when doing that, which I don't doubt. The government obviously loves to fuck around. But you know, at the end of the day, they didn't plan for that shit, and they fucked around and they found out. And unfortunately for people, hopefully everyone's all right. And you know, I don't even know anymore. Everything's so crazy. I don't know what's real and fake anymore. I'm about to say the world's flat, and that's it.
Bro, at this point, it's all real and it's all fake.
Yo.
When people ask me, it's all real, it's all fake, and they're like, Erica, that's not. I was like, that's the answer you gonna get from me. You might not like it, but that's the answer you getting today and tomorrow, next week too. It's all real and it's all fake.
Yeah, hopefully everything turns around for better. Prayers for Texas and shit. I seen that's fucked up.
Did you see how fast that thing rose? I saw a time-lapse video of how quick it happened. Tell me that ain't got nothing to do with weather manipulation.
Cloud seeding.
Cloud seed. Bro, listen. And all these people that's turning it into a political debate. I'm like, it's a goddamn, which technically it is a political debate, because I mean, it has to do with cloud seeding. Who the fuck controls that shit? The government. So, I mean, at some level it is a political debate, but it was so amazing how quickly it was Trump's fault.
Oh, I know. And
I was like, that's where you went immediately with that. Like, you're gonna have to go back to like 1940. That's where it starts.
Well, and I know a lot of people are a lot of lefties were making jokes about it, and I was just like,
listen,
dude.
there was one, it was good though. I mean, I couldn't stop myself. I had to laugh. She was like, I heard somebody say the other day, Trump's passing everything but away. It's like, that is a good one. It was good, but you know, I'm like, it's amazing. Everybody's up in arms about something, but ain't nobody actually moving forward to change anything. Have you noticed that? People are using a lot of energy, but it's not getting them anywhere.
No.
Look at that.
Like, I tried changing things, and what the fuck has it got me? You know? And yeah, no one really cares and shit. And the more I think about it, the more it's just like one big movie, and I just, I'm done. But
it's like Diddy. He dies next. In case nobody saw this movie already, he dies next.
No, I didn't think he was gonna get charged with anything. I thought they would have been.
I knew they were gonna give him something, but I didn't think they were gonna like. Remember, I said I was like, "Oh, they gonna find him guilty." I was like, "But how guilty? We don't know. We gonna have to wait for that." I knew they was gonna find
baby oil bottles, just popping that shit, just partying. And
fucking nuts.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna end the episode a little bit short because I have a lot of things to do. But thank you to everybody joining the show. Hopefully I had a good time and learned a few things. Big shout out to my buddies Dane and Kai Kai. Shout out to Dane and Kai Kai because I've been forgetting. Erica, do you have any final words?
I do. Just because you say something and it might feel a little icky or heavy or dense doesn't mean you're not being positive. So don't be out here living a toxic, positive life, trying to keep everything so neat and pretty. Yeah, life is not neat and pretty. Life is fucking real. So if you can't actually be real about it without becoming those emotions, then go find a corner and sit with yourself for a moment. But, you know, don't be suppressing any parts of yourself because, well, I hate to break it to you, those dark parts that you don't like and want to put in a corner, that's why you're still alive, because you've been living in survival mode. So, you know, be real. It ain't about being positive. It's about being real at the end of the fucking day.
Straight up. All right. God bless Texas. Peace, love, prayers.
Peace out.